Backboard Wall Drills for Pickleball, Volume 2. I hope you've seen my other video on backboard wall drills. In this Volume 2 video, I'll show you more ways to develop your pickleball skills by hitting against a wall or backboard. Remember, to drastically improve at almost any sport, you must increase practice time, not playing time. Practice time is at least 10 times more efficient and effective than playing time. Third shot practice. Let's start with a backboard method for practicing the third shot, which is usually a drop shot into the non-volley zone. Here's how it works. Stand about 20 feet away from the wall so as to simulate your real game situation. Hit the ball rather hard and high to a point on the wall about 15 to 20 feet above the floor. Allow the ball to return toward you and bounce once. Next, make your third shot drop shot so that the highest point of the shot trajectory is about 7 feet before the net. The ball should strike the wall about 1 to 2 feet above the net. Note that the ball is descending as it strikes the wall. Continue to stay about 20 feet away from the wall. Allow the ball to bounce 2 or 3 times and then repeat. Note that only every other hit will be the third shot practice. The other hit is to the high point on the wall. Advanced players may use the traditional drop shot scooping stroke that imparts backspin to the ball. This is what the backhand scooping stroke looks like. This is what the forehand scooping stroke looks like. However, for most players, I do not recommend such a paddle stroke as it requires tremendous precision both in timing and paddle positioning. Instead, I recommend a lifting and blocking stroke as shown here, where perpendicular contact is made and the paddle path follows the ball path as much as possible. For this third shot, I prefer to hit the ball as it is descending well after the apex. This gives a near perpendicular impact and sends the ball back nearly along the same trajectory. Note that most of the movement comes from the shoulder, not from wrist or elbow action. Avoid flipping the paddle as shown here. Practice both forehand and backhand shots. Sharp angle practice, the two-wall drill. This practice drill helps you develop the ability to direct the ball. Especially with net play, to stress your opponent, you need to be able to steer the ball sharply left and right. It's hard to practice this with just one wall, so you need a corner to perform this drill. Practice forehand only, backhand only, and alternating forehand and backhand sequences. First, practice by letting the ball bounce between hits. Such angled shots are useful in dinking. When dinking, you can often catch a ball in the air versus letting it bounce. When you can do this, a sharp cross-court redirection shot can be very difficult to return. Next, practice volley shots where no bounce occurs. Such shots are useful when you get a ball in the air that can be volleyed back. A great way to use this shot is shown here. Opponents A and B are not fully forward. Opponent A gives you a ball you can volley. Direct the ball as shown to create a shot that is very difficult to return. Staying down drill. Here we see bad dinking form. The player is essentially standing straight up and the player moves backward as shots come toward his feet. When dinking, most beginners fail to stay compressed in a good basketball-like ready position. A consequence is that when shots come toward your feet, you must hurry to bend forward or hurry to back up to feel them. Here we see much better form. The player is compressed and the player never backs up. When you are compressed, you can easily volley back shots that are aimed at your feet. You must stay compressed in a basketball-like ready position for several reasons. First, it allows quick movement. Second, it lets you better reach in to field shots in the non-volley zone. For the fourth shot, which is usually a return of the drop shot, you should volley this shot back, if at all possible, to stop your opponent's forward progress. As said earlier, staying compressed and reaching in also enables you to volley back shots that are directed at your feet. A common offensive dinking strategy is to aim at the opponent's feet. If you are not compressed, these shots are very tough to handle. If you are compressed, your feet are easily protected and you have a shot that can be volleyed back. In this drill, stay compressed and hit shots that will get very close to your feet. Also practice volleying while reaching in. Avoid backing up. Instead, hold your ground, even if you need to volley versus letting the ball bounce. In your real game play, get to the line and get compressed as quickly as possible. Once forward, rarely should you allow a ball to bounce outside the kitchen area.